Hey friends, we all tend to live for the weekend, working for the weekend, look forward to those vacations, and we frequently think about someday I'll be able to, someday I'll retire, someday I'll do this, someday I'll do that. No matter what it is, we're always looking forward to the escape from our reality, the escape from our everyday, the escape from the work that we don't like doing. What if we flip the script? What if instead of constantly looking for that escape, planning for the escape, counting down to the escape, what if instead of the escape, we build a life that we don't need an escape from? I too used to look forward to the weekends, look forward to vacations, and look forward to the day I could eventually retire. But I was able to flip the script, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you today. And I hope that you're encouraged and can find a way to flip the script for yourself as well. I can remember being on vacation with my family, enjoying my time. But come Thursday, the vacation's not even close to an end yet because I still got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But come Thursday, I'd feel like this pit in the bottom of my stomach. That dread, knowing that the vacation was coming to an end. The time that I'm enjoying with my family would soon end and I'd have to go back to work. And then I'd start the normal grind all over again. Punch in, punch out. Well, I didn't punch, I was salary, but you get the idea. Show up at work, do my job, eventually get to go home, show up home tired, worn out, have dinner with my family, maybe if I got home early enough. Frequently that didn't even happen, it seemed. Kids go to bed, get up in the morning before they're all awake, go to work, and do it all over again. Eventually Saturday would come, I'd get to enjoy the day, but I was pretty tired and beat from the week, so my Saturday wasn't even as good as it could have been. And besides, the job I was working seemed to barely pay the bills anyway, so if we wanted to go out and do something that cost any kind of money, we were pretty limited on what we could do because I was working for a job that took all of my time and energy, didn't leave anything left for my family, and really it paid what would have been considered, I guess, a decent salary, but well, the bills were pretty decent too, so it felt like I could never get ahead. And I never got to do what I wanted to do. I never got to spend time with my family. And ultimately it left me kind of miserable. So after coming back from one of these vacations, I decided it was time to change. I decided something needed to change. I couldn't keep being miserable. I couldn't keep taking time away from my family. My family's important. My life is important. And I needed to live on purpose. Quite often when I would find myself kind of in this cycle of being miserable at work, I'd think, well, at least I'm earning a paycheck, and I would chase that paycheck or a promotion. I would work even harder. I would actually fill my schedule as full as I could to feel like I'm being productive, to almost like make myself feel like I'm doing something important and something valuable. But the truth is, the real value was at home with my family. The real value was not in the work I was doing. The real value was in my purpose. And I needed to fulfill that purpose. No amount of busy schedule was going to fix that. No amount of paycheck was going to fix that. No amount of hours that I put in the office would fix that. Actually, all of these tended to make that even worse. So what if we redefine success for a minute? Instead of chasing paychecks, we chase freedom. What if instead of building tons of financial wealth, we build tons of margin? What if more hours in the office was traded out for more time with our family? I know that may actually sound crazy because how are you going to pay the bills? Well, yes, you may still have to work. You will still have to work. You will still have to make money to pay the bills. But what if we changed the order of priority? Put our personal needs in front of business needs. What if we made sure our family was cared for with our personal time instead of working more hours at the office because the boss asked us to? What if our job didn't fulfill our purpose at all and we looked for a new opportunity that could fulfill that purpose and leave the margin we needed to spend time with our family? What if we lived life on purpose instead of letting life happen to us? That's where I was able to make a big mindset shift, and I hope you can too. Our priorities have been dictated by society instead of us dictating what our priorities are supposed to be. What if you protected your time as if it were more valuable than money? Would you just take $100 and hand it to some random person? Probably not. So why are you taking an hour and giving it away to some random person when that hour meant nothing to them, but it was taken away from what mattered to you? What if instead of filling your calendar with a busy schedule, you filled your calendar with blocked out time for your family, for your hobbies, for your church, for life that mattered to you, instead of life that made your company more money and made you more miserable? If your job, if your work, if the work that you do is constantly draining you and you feel like there's no purpose to it, it's time to make a shift. Is there a way at your current job to bring meaning back to what you do, purpose back to what you do, without sacrificing your family at the almighty job? If not, maybe it's time for a shift. And this doesn't have to be done in one big, huge step where you just quit your job and, well, hope everything works out. No, you can do a couple things. You can start looking for a new job that has purpose and meaning for you. You could start a side hustle. Start slowly with your side hustle. A side hustle that gives you purpose, meaning, that you enjoy, that does not drain you, but actually energizes you. And then you can build that side hustle to replace your full-time income. And eventually you could step away from that draining job that you have. And then you can build your schedule and your life around the things that matter to you, the things that have purpose for you, the things that don't drain you, but the things that actually energize you. Maybe it's time to slow down. We're constantly rushed from one thing to the next, chasing this, chasing that. Maybe it's time to slow down. Maybe it's time to have a few less things. We chase so much stuff and so many things that actually just drain us and don't bring us any value. What if you sat for a minute and enjoyed that cup of coffee? What if you sat and you listened to your kid tell you a story of what happened to them today? No matter how silly it may seem, it matters to them, and that's why they want to share it with you. So it should matter to you what's on your kids' minds. What if you actually took a minute? A minute. I mean, think how hard this has become to spend 60 seconds listening to what your wife has to say. 60 seconds. We are so distracted now. In 60 seconds, it's so hard to not even just look at your phone to see if a new message popped in, if something more urgent might have come up. Maybe there was a phone call I missed, an email, a text message, a Facebook message, an Instagram message. I mean, it's non-stop. What if we turned off the notifications and just sat in silence for 60 seconds? Maybe we could do 2 minutes. What if we just enjoyed life instead of being constantly busied and distracted? Waiting till later is a false narrative. Later may never come. Not to be morbid, but we don't know how much time we have left, and time is the one thing that you cannot get more of. You can get more money, you can get more stuff, you can get more anything, but you cannot get more time. You only have so much time. Time in your life, time with your kids, time with your spouse, time for things that matter to you. So what if we stop waiting for someday when we might have more time to making that day now? I know that's a hard shift and it can be done slowly. Start making that time for the things that matter. Start making that margin for the things that are important, and giving less time to those things that drain us, giving less time to those things that don't matter. It is time to start living on purpose. If any of this resonated with you today, I would love for you to push that subscribe button, comment below, let me know how it resonated with you, and let's work together at building a life we love, one intentional day at a time, one day of purpose, one day that we actually live on purpose instead of letting it just happen. Thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.